Hey guys, Zelonius here. Welcome back to another video on the channel. We're back with the tier list. So we did tier lists for defenders, midfielders and attackers in October. I told you I'm going to keep updating them once a month, and I waited until towards the end of November because I knew there was a big patch coming and I wanted just to get a chance to get more cards come out, all the World Cup heroes, etc. And we're here today with the defenders tier list updated for November. We're going to do midfielders and attackers as well over the next week, but defenders in particular has really changed. Attackers really has as well. Midfielders will be a little bit more similar, but defenders, it's really changed on the new patch. You don't have to be lengthy anymore to be a good defender. So someone like Cordoba, who was decent before, might now be top tier. Acceleration, agility, balance, these are a lot more key stats on this patch when it comes to a centre-back than they were before. And then obviously we've had all the World Cup heroes, we've had more promos, more team of the weeks. So there's just a better variety and higher quality of cards really. So in this video we're going to go through, there's nearly 55 defenders that I've got here. I do miss out a few of the icons and heroes, the ones that I don't think are necessarily the absolute best ones. Doesn't mean that I don't think they're good. It just means that I don't want the video to be all icons or heroes, and we're not going to be doing 100 cards. Like, yes, if a card's not in this video, it does not mean I do not think it's good. It just means that I'm not saying it's one of the top tier ones, and I can only include so many cards, otherwise the video would be like 2 hours long. So, let's go on with it. So we're going to start off with Thomas Meunier. So Thomas Meunier, don't know if that's even how you pronounce it, but this was a card that if we were doing it on the last patch, honestly, he'd be borderline S tier at right back. Probably A tier, but on this patch, a little bit worse. He's still going to be pretty quick with an anchor or a shadow, but not got that acceleration, which is quite as key on this patch. Decent on the ball, 4-star weak for, not the best on the ball for a right back. Still a very good card though. We're putting him in B tier, but he's a good example of a card that on the previous patch would have been really good. Mascherano. Now, Mascherano is probably more of a CDM. Does he have an upgraded weak foot on this? Yep, the upgraded weak foot to 4-star, that's pretty nice. He's got ridiculous defending, very good physical, solid passing, not bad pace, especially because the acceleration's decent. His overall top speed's a little bit bad if you're playing against quick players. This Mascherano would be pretty good, but compared to someone like Cordoba, doesn't quite have that elite pace. So Mascherano is probably another one who's staying in the B tier. If you gave him 5 more pace, he'd be pushing up to around here. Gosens. We've included a few SBC cards and objective cards in it this time because people seem to be asking about those last time. This Gosens is a very, very good card for free. Wing back or left back. Pretty good versatility. Not the best passing with that vision, but he can do a bit of everything, honestly. With a shadow, this card's very good. Some pretty nice links in there. Gosens. We'll probably put in a C tier. There's so many very good cards now. He could even be B tier, to be honest, but if a card gets put in C or D tier in this video, it doesn't mean they're good. Every single card in this video is a very good, every card here you could use in a good level of team. But there's obviously levels to that. So anyone in this video, I would recommend as a player you can use. If they're D tier compared to S tier, there's obviously a gap in how good I think they are. Bremer. We're looking at the knockouts one here. So again, pretty decent acceleration before. I just wanted pretty much sprint speed. Bremer's pretty good though. 2-star weak, so it's not the best. Pretty good physical, very solid defending, especially with the shadow. Lengthy by default. This Bremer is very solid. Putting him in the B tier, I would say. Where is it? There we go. Okay. Wan-Bissaka. Now, Wan-Bissaka before, not coming up. Wan-Bissaka before would have been a card that you wouldn't have been as excited about because he couldn't get lengthy at right back. But now, with this, you could probably go an anchor to max out his sprint speed. You could go a shadow as well, but you might want the extra physical. If you go a shadow, it makes him really, really quick. He's very good on the ball for a right back. Bad weak foot, but he's really good agility dribbling. Okay-ish passing. Not the best for the through balls, to be honest. Good physical, really high defending. This Wan-Bissaka, we are putting in the A tier. On the previous patch would have been B or C because he wasn't lengthy, but on this patch someone like him is a lot more viable. Rudiger. Rudiger got the one to watch upgrade, could get another upgrade very soon if Germany win a game at the World Cup. This Rudiger, pretty cracked in some areas, but on this patch, with agility and balance being quite low, lower acceleration, we're probably putting him in the A tier. But I'm also somewhat including that I think he's going to get an upgrade in the next week or two. If he didn't get that upgrade, he might be borderline B tier on this patch. Rudiger's still very good, but he's a little bit slow off the mark. On the last patch, this card would have been an S tier. Alphonso Davies. Rapid card. Can't get lengthy, but on this patch it doesn't matter as much. Great on the ball. Decent defending and physical. Solid passing. Not the best, but pretty solid. Ridiculous pace though, so because of that, Alphonso Davies, we're putting him in the B tier. He is really good, and this patch has helped him a bit, but he's not well-rounded enough in enough areas and got enough elite stats for me to really push him too much high compared to some of the other left-backs. Eder Militao. Now, wasn't that great before. He was good, but wasn't that standout. Whereas on this patch, you can keep a shadow on him to make him even faster. One of the fastest centre-backs in the game. Eder Militao now, honestly, I'm putting him in like S tier, and I'm putting him at the bottom end of S tier because there's other centre-backs who are just a bit more well-rounded. But this, it might be top end of A tier, I don't know. We might move him as the video goes on. But no, I'm going to put him top of A tier, actually. It's still a cracked card, though. This Militao is amazing and top value. Zanetti. Zanetti, not rapid. That hurts him a little bit. Good weak foot, though. Very good passing. This Zanetti, I'm putting in B tier. If he had a few more pace and was a bit better on the ball, he could honestly be pushing S tier. Because a few more pace would make him insanely fast. But he's just not rapid, considering he's got a shadow on him. He's not great on the ball, and his physical's not that great. So there's enough deficiencies to push him down a bit. Gerard Piqué. Now this rule breaker Piqué, don't get me wrong, you still want to be big. Big centre-backs with big body types are still very good. This Piqué is good enough in enough areas with high enough acceleration, the big body type, great passing, that I'm going to put him S tier. He's not going to be at the top end of that S tier because the agility balance, not ridiculously fast, but he is really good. Got that massive body type, elite physical, great passing. He's really good. Who do we want next? Militao we've already done, but we've got two of them, so we'll just put them together there. That was an accident. De Ligt. Now this is a De Ligt that's not got his second upgrade yet. This De Ligt before the patch would have been better, but his acceleration, overall pace is a little bit lower. He is going to get a +1 because Holland won their first game of the World Cup. But we're putting this De Ligt, I would say, I'll probably say B tier. He's got some really nice stats, especially considering he's about to get the upgrade. But that pace is just a bit too low. Frimpong. Looking at the informed version. A few deficiencies. 3-star, 3-star. Pretty poor physical. Good stamina though. Not elite defending. Pretty average passing. But this Frimpong on this patch is fast because explosive is really fast. He's got elite pace. His defending's not too bad with that. His physical gets a buff. This Frimpong, honestly, he's probably A tier now. He's basically 99 pace. Not that I'm putting this as a plus for him in terms of his tier list ranking, but his chemistry's nice with the Dutch. This Frimpong on this patch, just so fast, so good on the ball, and the anchor can boost some of the weaker areas. That helps this card a lot. Romero. Now with these cards, when I rank these, I'm partly basing on how good I think they can get. Argentina losing to Saudi Arabia today definitely hurt this card because the guarantee of him getting out the groups, which is what I thought was guaranteed before and maybe going further, is not as high. And he's pretty slow in general, so we're probably putting this Romero in the C tier for now. Argentina are going to have to pull it up a bit for him to get any better. Skriniar, solid pace, low agility balance, not the best passing, probably C tier, but still a very good card. Varane. Raphael Varane, very nice pace, pretty good split. That agility and balance though hurt him, so he's going to the B tier. David Alaba. Now, Alaba, we are going off the one with more physical, because I think that's the better, well-rounded one. With a shadow, is pretty good. That pace is solid, not insane, but how good he is on the ball with that dribbling stats and passing, I'm putting him at the top end of A tier. This Alaba could borderline be S tier. Compared to someone like PK, I think his top end speed's a little bit lacking, and PK, whilst he has the same physical technically, will just feel better physical in game because he's just that much bigger. Diogo Dalot. This is his second team of the week. You want to go a shadow here. This is a very nice, well-rounded card. He has 4-star weak foot, decent overall passing, very good defending, solid physical, okay on the ball, good pace. We're putting him at the bottom end of probably... we'll probably put him at the top end of A tier. Not A tier, B tier. He'll be somewhere around here, to be fair. Kim Min-jae. His Path to Glory card. Good card. He's tall. Got elite physical. Good agility. Lengthy by default. This guy's going to be a beast of a centre-back. Chemistry's going to be a bit of an issue for him, to be fair. But in terms of like top centre-backs on this game, I think this guy's honestly really good. And this is before an upgrade. If Korea could somehow get a few upgrades for him, he could be pretty special. We're putting him in A tier, though. He has pretty much everything you want in a centre-back. Fofana. This Fofana's good. I'm probably putting him like middle of A tier again. Can do a bit of everything. He's not elite enough on the defending or pace to go into the S tier. That's his only problem. Kanji. His dribbling stats are really nice on this patch. Not insanely fast. Not the best physical. Kanji's good, but I'm probably putting him in like lower B tier. His ability on the ball and stuff does help him though. Nuno Mendes. Nuno Mendes with a shadow, has rapid pace, great on the ball, okay passing, very good defending, not very good but pretty good, average physical, 4-star weak foot. This card's going A tier. Some cards just get a boost basically based on how much a chem style can help them. Perisic. Now Perisic as a midfielder is probably better. As an actual defender, not quite as good because his defending stats aren't as elite. His physical's good. He's good on the ball. He's got the 5-star weak foot. He's not got ridiculous pace with a shadow, but it's good enough. So Perisic is probably like a B/C tier. Talking about him as a right back. Koundé. It doesn't really matter which version it is, but Koundé, not as small as I used to think he was on the game. With a shadow, that is a really quick card. That acceleration is really nice. He's got very nice agility. His physical hurts him though, so we're going to lower him to probably like B tier, probably the lower end. He's basically just a worse Militao, not quite as quick, bit smaller and a bit worse physical. He is B tier because I think his acceleration on this patch is just so useful. So we're probably going to move a few cards down just because otherwise it's going to end up being just all the cards in the same tiers, to be honest. Need to be a bit harsher. Denzel Dumfries. Now this card is amazing. High pace, decent on the ball for a centre-back. Passing's not too bad. Elite physical, elite defending. Dumfries is going in S tier. Not the easiest player to link in, but he is very good. He has a bit of everything you want and he's pretty tall. One of the best centre-backs I've used this year. Frankowski with shadow. This guy's rapid. 3-star does hurt him a little bit. Okay passing, but not great. Okay on the ball. We're putting this guy in C tier. He's got enough stats plus rapid pace to help him. Do we want next? Rijkaard. Rijkaard. Pace is a bit low. He's decent agility, but not the best balance. Probably putting this Rijkaard in B tier. He's got some elite stats, but the pace and balance are a little bit low to put him too high. Godfrey. See, I always thought this guy's acceleration was better. But he is really quick and he has crazy dribbling stats, so he's going to feel like one of those centre-backs who turns well. Decent height, very good defending, decent passing. This Godfrey's at the top end of B tier. If he had a bit more acceleration, he'd be moving into that A tier. And his physical's a little bit low. Like if you compare him to Militao, just that physical and a little bit extra pace, Militao does give Militao the edge. Araujo's path to glory. Now, this guy felt honestly a little disappointing when I used him. Didn't feel very quick. Gold Araujo, when I used him, felt better. And it's not because this card's not better. This card is better. But when I used Gold Araujo, it was on the old patch and earlier in the game cycle. He just felt more dominant. This patch definitely hurt a card like this Araujo. He is good, but low acceleration. Like that's with a shadow. 80 acceleration is quite low. Not the best agility and balance. Did hurt him. So a card that honestly I would have expected before the patch to be up here is probably around here somewhere. Joe Gomez. Pretty good card. Just doesn't excel enough in any particular area for me to really love this card. But we're probably putting him like top end of C tier. He could be borderline B tier as well. Maybe, I think Delic could probably go in here as well. But there's a lot of cards that you could move about, to be honest. Marquez. Rafael Marquez. This card here, defending and physical, is one of the best in the game. He's a little bit slow. The lack of pace, even with a chem style, hurts this card. Okay agility and balance combo. Very good passing, decent on the ball, elite defending, elite physical. Marquez is good. He's probably towards around top end of B tier though. He's like a more physical, taller Mascherano basically. If he had 2 or 3 more pace, I'd be putting him in the A tier. Cafu. I mean, Cafu has everything. Great physical for a fullback, top end defending, good passing, very solid on the ball, elite pace. Cafu's going to be an S tier player. Ferland Mendy. Ferland Mendy, 99 pace when you put the chem style on him. The 99 pace, solid passing, decent on the ball. Well, not as good stats as you think on the ball, but he does have the weak foot and skill moves. It's a good card, and he feels good. I'm probably putting him like A tier. He's just not good enough on the technical stats or elite enough defending stats to push him into the S tier. But this game patch suits him, to be honest. Carlos Alberto. Now, this Alberto is probably up there for the best centre-back in the game now. 99 pace, good strength, great agility, decent height. I'm probably going to try and get this guy on my team, to be honest, when I look at these stats. Like, this guy genuinely could be the best centre-back in the game. When I compare him to someone like Cordoba, he's basically Cordoba, but taller and a bit quicker. Don't have the aggression, but I don't think that's his key stat. This guy is absolutely elite. So we're putting him up here. He's probably our number 1 centre-back on this patch, to be honest. Which is pretty crazy. You probably would have put him B or C tier on the last patch. Bonucci. Decent card, but really bad agility balance. Not the best pace. Probably puts him towards the C tier. Blanc. This Blanc, decent, but a little slow. But these stats here, the dribbling really help. Elite defending, pretty solid physical. We're probably putting Blanc towards around here in the A tier. Van Dijk. Van Dijk's acceleration really do hurt him. But Virgil is 6'4" with insane physical and insane defending. Virgil is just making it into the S tier. But on a previous patch, he would have been like top end of S tier and zero doubt. He honestly is borderline A tier now just because of that acceleration alone. João Cancelo. With Shadow, he's quick, but Poor physical, not great agility balance. Hurt this card a little bit. I'm putting Cancelo around top of B tier. Still a very good card though. Lacroix. Really quick. Got nice acceleration. Elite strength, which makes the 84 physical better than it actually is. Great defending. The agility and balance combo do hurt a bit, but he has elite passing stats. We're putting this guy at the bottom end of A tier. Lucio, I think we all know where this guy's going. Lucio could be better than Carlos Alberto, even though he's quite a bit slower. Simply put, he's just quite a bit taller and better physical. This Lucio also has an upgrade to a 4-star weak foot compared to his 89. The 89 and the 90 Lucio are pretty similar, but both are going to be S tier. This Lucio is up there for the best centre-back in the game. Marquinhos. On the previous patch, Marquinhos would have been a bit worse, but on this patch, where he's got decent agility, he can get more pace by staying controlled. It's a good card, mid B tier, I'd say. Kanate. Similar to Virgil, just quicker, to be honest. Honestly, this guard is insane. One of the best centre-backs I've used. He's probably a slightly better Virgil on the game now, especially with the acceleration mattering. Capdevia, probably in my opinion the best left back in the game right now. Near enough 99 pace, insane defending, feels good on the ball in game even though their stats don't look great. He's got skill moves, elite passing for a fullback, can shoot. Not that that's a big deal, but he can if he needs to. Good physical. Capdevia is great. Maldini. Honestly, this Maldini, without having insane pace, not the best agility, not great physical, that Maldini is going into the A tier, which sounds crazy, but I just don't think he justifies being in the S tier. This Maldini, on the other hand, better agility, better pace, that Maldini is going into the S tier. Cannavaro, you've got to go for his baby one here. Cracked agility, good pace, ridiculous defending, solid physical, good jumping to make his aerial a bit better. This Cannavaro's going towards the A tier. Walker, path to glory. On the previous patch, this would have been an S tier card, no doubt. But low agility and balance and just general passing not being that great on the ball push this Kyle Walker into the A tier for me. However, one or two upgrades, which England are almost certainly going to get him to an 88. He'll probably get to at least an 89. This Kyle Walker jumps into the S tier, so there is that. Koulibaly. Senegal did lose the first game. The agility and balance being so low on this card really do hurt him. He's not got the same body type as Virgil because he's a bit smaller, so we're putting him towards the A tier. He's at the top end though, he's not far off S tier. If Senegal were to win against Ecuador and then they'll beat Qatar and he was to get through, he would be S tier probably. Ramos, better on this patch with the acceleration mattering more. He's got solid agility, crazy defending, pretty good physical. I just think with this Ramos, that top end speed is too low to be an S tier card. So we're putting him around mid A tier. If he had 10 more sprint speed, he's S tier. Theo Hernandez. Really, really quick. Elite physical. The defending and passing aren't the best. 3-star weak foot. We're putting him at the top end of A tier. Tomori. Now my centre-back pairing on my main account at the moment is Tomori's Team of the Week and Cordoba. This Tomori's outrageous. 99 sprint speed with a shadow. High-end acceleration. Very good agility. Very good defending. Good enough physical. 4-star weak foot helps. This Tomori, definitely S tier on this patch. Would have been like bottom end A, top end B on the previous patch. Carvajal. We forgot to put Carvalho. Carvalho would have been probably top end A tier, I'd have said. This Carvajal's a lot quicker than you'd expect a Carvajal card to be. Pretty good on the ball. Very nice defending. Okay physical. Not the best, but pretty okay. Very solid passing. 3-star. 3-star's not the best at fullback, but it's okay. This Carvajal, with a couple of upgrades, is probably pushing S tier. But for now, I'd put him in mid-A tier. Compared to someone like Walker, he feels quite a bit better on the ball. That helps him. But Walker just has that little bit more pace. Zambrotta, with a shadow, very good. He just feels a lot clunkier on the ball than someone like Captivate, even though the dribbling stats aren't crazy different and his passing's not quite as good. Even though like Captivate doesn't have the weak foot, it's rare you need to use a weak foot on a fullback. This guy's passing stats just aren't quite as good. Even though it's only one less passing, Captivate has the more key stats. I'm probably putting him at the top end of A tier. And then for Cordoba, our last centre-back, this guy is 100% S tier on this patch. He might be better than that Carlos Alberto, even though he's not quite as quick. Simply put, he just has a little bit more physical stats. He's got great agility and balance. The passing's fine. He's just a little bit small. But that doesn't seem to matter too much. That agility balance with that pace. Cordoba's one of the few centre-backs I've played with on this patch who can actually generally deal with the through balls. Love this guy. I think the top 3 centre-backs in the game right now, Alberto, Lucio, Cordoba, then Tomori's probably right in there, and then any of the other S tiers are pretty close. I think, like I said, any centre-back, full-back on this list is a really good card. You have to be harsh and picky at this point. Anybody who's made this list though is great. Appreciate you guys watching. Let me know what you think of this tier list. Do you disagree? Do you agree with it? Are there any players that you think really should have been on here that I forgot? Appreciate you guys watching. Keep it spicy. See you guys in the next one. Peace.